One of the most controversial rumors with the iPhone 7 is that Apple's going to be removing the headphone jack. That's a pretty big step for a phone of this scale. So now, instead of using the 3.5mm headphone jack to plug in like we're used to on pretty much every device, you'd be using something a little bit different, and that's headphones with lightning cables and connectors built right in. These here are 3 different pairs of headphones, and they're all different qualities. You have the cheaper Brightech in-ear earbuds that you can take around with you and put in your pocket. These go for around $40, and for that price, they sound really great. These would be a great replacement for your earpods, but they sound even better than that. They even have metal construction on some areas, and overall, this is a quality pair of inexpensive Lightning headphones. Then we have the more mid-range Philips Fidelio M2 on-ear headphones, and these go for around $300. Again, these sound pretty great, and they're small and they're pretty portable, enough for you to take around with you, and for the size, they sound really good. And finally, you have the high-end Odyssey EL8 over-the-ear headphones. This version is around $800, and with that you get a 3.5mm cable and a Lightning cable. These sound really great, which you would hope for that price. They have a solid aluminum build and a thick cable, and it's a really quality pair of headphones that you would use at home just to have that nice listening experience. These all work over a Lightning connector, and they do have some advantages and some disadvantages over the traditional 3.5mm headphone jack. Now, to understand some of these advantages, it's important to know how headphones work. So on your device, you have digital files. These can be streamed, stored locally, it doesn't really matter. They're all ones and zeros, and they make up a song. When you want to actually hear that, you need what is called a digital to analog converter, or a DAC. This is what transmits those ones and zeros into audio that you can actually hear. Once the file goes through the DAC, the analog signal is then amplified in the built-in amp. This is what creates a signal that's powerful enough to power your headphones and create a sound that you can actually hear. Now, these 2 components are what's really important here. The 3.5mm headphone jack that's built into your devices have a DAC and an amp built in. That's how you can plug in and your headphones will just work. But the problem with this is that in order to keep the size and the cost down, the quality of these products just aren't all that great. For most things, the quality that you get will be fine and it will sound okay, but compared to what it could be, these are really lacking. Now, the Lightning port on the iPhone, although it does support audio, doesn't have a built-in DAC or an amp. So instead of using the phone's built-in DAC or amp, you're going to be relying on an external source. Each of these headphones here have their own DAC and amp built in, and this means that the quality of those components can be much better. The Philips Fidelio have the components integrated right into the headphones themselves, and the Odyssey and Brightech have them in the cord. It doesn't really matter where they go, but they will be there, and a lot of the times the components are going to be better than what you get built in. With the Odyssey, you can really tell the difference in quality comparing to the 3.5mm headphone jack. These headphones do come with both cables, so it's very easy to compare. And with the 3.5mm headphone jack plugged into the iPhone, you have to bump the volume all the way up to even get a decent sound. But even then, the quality is just okay. It's nowhere near the price tag. But then you switch over to the Lightning cable, and that's really where you can see the difference. With the Lightning option, you only have to put the volume about halfway to compare it to the full blast of the 3.5mm headphone jack. But even besides volume, just the quality and the clarity of the sound that you're getting is noticeably different than the 3.5. This bump in quality goes with these other 2 headphones as well, and when you're comparing it to a normal pair of headphones, you can definitely see the difference. Now, even though the quality is great today, there are some issues with Lightning headphones. The first one being that when you're listening to music, there's no way to charge. There might be an adapter at some point in the future, but right now, if your battery's low and you want to listen to music, you just can't. Now, the other issue is with compatibility. The Odyssey EL8 come with 2 cables, but they are also much more expensive than most people are going to spend. The Philips Fidelio, on the other hand, are more in the price range of what some people might buy, but they're still not cheap. And the issue is that if you buy these headphones and they have a Lightning connector built in, they're only going to work with your iOS devices, and you can't use them with anything else. So if you want to listen to music on your Mac, you're just not going to be able to do it. Or if you have another device that doesn't have a Lightning port, these headphones aren't going to work. If you buy these headphones, you're probably going to be listening on your iOS device most of the time, but the fact that you have no choice is kind of an issue. There definitely are some benefits for having Lightning headphones, but when it comes to convenience, that's when we start to see some issues. We still have a few more months before we see the next iPhone, but it's looking like this is going to be the future of headphones on the iPhone. It's a really interesting but definitely controversial one. So what do you think about Apple removing the headphone jack, and what do you think about Lightning headphones? Leave a comment down below, we'd love to hear those. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Apple rumors and news, be sure to visit MacRumors.com. I want to thank you for watching this video and hope you enjoyed. My name is Matt Gonzalez with MacRumors, and I will see you next time.